Hi everyone, I'm Kelsie and welcome back to my channel, Connecting with Spirit. So in today's video, I am going to be using the pendulum and doing a bit of a demonstration to show you how you can use the pendulum to clear energy blocks for yourself. Whether this is for healing or for clearing blockages in relation to something that you're trying to manifest. There are many different things that you can do with the pendulum. So it's pretty much going to be a crash course in how to use the pendulum. There is so many things to go into in this. It's going to be brief, so I'm not going to go into everything in detail, but hopefully you get the gist of the basics of what it is that I'm trying to impart to you today. So first things first, about the pendulum. So I am in between pendulums right now. I used to have a lovely green aventurine crystal pendulum, but I actually outgrew it. So I am waiting for my new pendulum, which I feel is going to be a wooden one. So in the meantime, I'm just going to use this necklace. That's mine. So you can do the same. If you don't have a pendulum right now, you can use a necklace. You can even use a string with a weight on it, or like a ring on a chain or something like that. The only thing to say is that you will need to clear any energy that's not yours from the pendulum. So you can do this with your intention. You can do it with the violet flame. You can do it by smudging it with sage, kind of whatever clearing technique feels the best for you. And also to make sure that the pendulum is attuned to your energy. So either wearing it for a couple of days, putting it under your pillow as you sleep at night, or just literally holding it in the palm of your hands, placing it at your heart, and then visualizing some energy going from your heart into the pendulum. So basically using your intention to attune your pendulum with your energy. And once that is done, there's kind of three just basic, well, it applies to all energy working techniques, that is a good habit to get into whenever you're doing any sorts of energy work. So I would say to set up a sacred space for yourself. You can call in your healing team of light and ask them to activate a sacred space around you. You can visualize a dome of white light, a bubble, whatever it is you like, or even visualizing a salt circle, placing candles around yourself, whatever sort of way you like to create a sacred space for yourself. And then clearing the space of any non-beneficial energy. So again, with a violet flame, or by visualizing fire I'm seeing, or smudging with sage, whatever you like to do. And then the next thing would be to put in protection for yourself. Again, there's many different ways of doing this. Seeing a bubble of white light, calling in Archangel Michael to put in his shield of protection, armor of God, whatever you like to do. And then the third and final thing that is good for you to get into a habit of before you start is to ground yourself. So bringing in the energy down from source and sending it into earth, and bringing earth's energy up through your chakras. I do have a grounding meditation, so I will link that down in the description box below, as well as any other information on clearing or protection that I also have on my channel. I'll put all those in the description box as well if you're unsure what I'm talking about in relation to this. So once you've done all that and created your sacred space, you're grounded, you're protected, you've cleared any non-beneficial energy, you're ready to go with the pendulum. So if you haven't used the pendulum before, it's a good idea to basically set what yes and no is. So you can just ask your pendulum like to show me yes, and you can see that mine is heading towards the right there. And then you can say to your pendulum, show me no. And my pendulum goes to the left. So this might be similar for yours, or you could even get one that spins, clockwise for yes and then anti-clockwise for no type thing. But you can set it yourself if you want this to be yes. You can program this into your pendulum and say, pendulum, this is yes. We're going to take all future spins or use of the pendulum, as this is yes and this is no, whatever you kind of like to do. And then to just test that your pendulum is indeed working, to ask it a question. So is my name Kelsie? And you can see that the pendulum is going over there to the right for yes, or even on this chart. So is my name Kelsie? Again, going over to the yes, and then just to check again, is my name Georgina? And we're getting a no for that. Okay, so other thing to say is you can connect the pendulum into any of your energetic bodies. So you can connect it into your auric field, into your chakras, into your physical body. For this demonstration, I'm going to be connecting in to my higher self, because I feel like that's the best place to go to get the information, particularly when you're looking for blocks in relation to manifesting something, or if you're trying to get to the root of something to heal. The higher self is primarily the best energy to go to. So I'm just gonna say the command, which is pendulum, connect me into my higher self. Connect me into my higher self. Connect me into my higher self. I like to say it 3 times because the power of 3, it's the number of truth. So you know what you're getting when you say it 3 times. So now I'm connected into my higher self. And again, you can check and see, am I connected into my higher self? And we're getting a yes there. Now, so there is a few other nuances in relation to the pendulum and looking at accuracy and aligning to truth, and a few other bits and pieces, like if you've drunk enough water and all the rest of it. But I'm not going to go too much into detail into that, because this is just a crash course. As I said, this is just the basics. But you can have a look at all this sort of stuff online, or even shoot me a message if you want any further information on this. So to demonstrate how to clear energy blocks, in order to, if you're trying to manifest something based on an intention. So the example I'm going to use in this video today is just the intention that I would like to manifest success in my business, okay? So manifesting success in my business is my intention. So we're going to have a look at if I have any energetic blocks that are preventing me from basically manifesting this into my physical reality. So we're going to just ask the pendulum, do I have any energetic blocks that are preventing me from manifesting this intention of success in my business? And it's coming up yes. And then I've just written a very, very basic grid, or what is the word? We're just going to say, yeah, very, very basic graph kind of here of different energy blocks that you can come across in relation to manifesting things that might be energetically stopping you from manifesting that. So yeah, it's a chart, that's it. A chart, that was the word I was looking for. So I just made this one myself. Again, you can Google blocks if you want. You can look them up to give yourself different kind of options. There's also loads of different people out there who do various different charts that you can download from online or get free as well if you want to check them out. But you can also just make your own chart yourself like this, and then you're pretty much good to go with this. And you can add another column here as well if you want to say like other or nothing in relation on this chart, if you'd like. So then I'm just going to ask the pendulum, what blocks do I have in relation to manifesting success in my business? So you can see that it is hanging over the fear there. And for fears, then you can also check if you need to know what that fear is, or if you can just clear it as it is. So we're going to check that as well. So do I need to know what this fear is in relation to this block? Yes. Now, for this is where it kind of gets a little bit tricky, because you want to hone in on what the fear is exactly in order to clear the energy block, excuse me, in its entirety. Excuse me. I'm clearing as I go. So there are many different ways that you can use to do this. If you have, say, a dowsing book, you can, make a grid, and you can ask the pendulum, what page to go to, where it might give you some more insight into what the fear is. You can also just use a random book if you like, if you have one of anything, and then if you have like a number grid on your phone, or you can even write one and just ask, what page will be beneficial for me to look at in relation to this fear, like give me some more information on this fear. And then the pendulum will go to a specific page. You open up that page and you can scan the page and see. You can even put the pendulum over the page and see where it kind of maneuvers to get more insight into the fear. So there are many different ways that you can hone in on the fear. My personal favorite, or the one that I usually use, is that I will just go into my heart and ask my heart what the fear is. So this does take some practice to connect in with yourself, to connect in with your heart as well. So don't worry if you find this difficult, because it is a skill that you would need to cultivate over some time. But some of you might just be able to do it as well naturally, because you are quite connected in with yourself. I would say doing this sort of work beside of body of water or in nature makes it easier to tune in as well. The more grounded you are also helps. And I would also say, if you are in any state of dysregulation, emotional dysregulation, to not attempt to use the pendulum at all until you have regulated yourself, because you will not get an accurate answer. So do make sure that you are in a state of emotional regulation if you are doing any sort of psychic work and indeed energetic work. So I'm just going to go into my heart space now and connect in with my heart and see what my heart has to say in relation to this fear. So I am hearing that I have a fear of success. So I'm just going to check. You can check and see, is that correct? Do I have a fear of success? Do I need to know any more information about this? No, because sometimes, this fear, it mightn't even be yours. It might be someone else's. But it's just coming up in your energy field. It's old programming that you need to clear out. But it's up to you. If you're curious, you want to take it deeper, you can ask a few more questions to get to the bottom of it. But I don't think in this case we need to know anything more. So we just have a fear of success. And in order to clear this energy, we usually will spin the pendulum in an anti-clockwise direction to clear the energy, and you usually say a command. So this is just, I want to clear the fear of success from my energy field, all levels, layers, bodies, fields and systems now please. And it's usually a good idea to transmute that energy either with the violet flame. So I'll say transmute the energy with the violet flame as well please. Amen. So so it's a good idea to just command the pendulum to clear the energy, and as I said, spin it in a clockwise direction so you can see it's going by itself there to clear this energy. And it's a good idea to transmute the energy that you're clearing either with the violet flame, or you can send it into fire, you can send it into central sun, you can send it into Gaia to transmute, it's kind of like a cleanup. So you're not just clearing the energy and leaving it floating around, you're cleaning up after yourself. So do send it somewhere to transmute, usually into a fire or something like that, or with a violet flame, whatever feels best for you. And then you continue to just let the pendulum do its thing. It's going to spin anti-clockwise to clear the energy, and it's also useful just to tune into yourself as this happens, because you can very often feel the energy lifting. So I can feel it coming up from my throat chakra now. If you're sensitive to energy, you might feel different things. I can feel it also in my solar plexus sacral as well, some energy clearing there. So it's just kind of a nice thing to do, to tune into yourself as the pendulum does its work, and you can feel the energy being cleared from your energy fields. It's really interesting. So this might take some time, just depending how much energy there is in relation to this sphere and where it is, and on what level, body or system. So we'll just let the pendulum continue to do its thing there. To completely clear this fear of success that I have from my energy field. And you can see it's kind of slowing down now, and when it is finished, it'll stop going around in the anti-clockwise direction. And it's important to take note of which direction it stops spinning in. So you'll see when it stops, either it'll be pointing in the yes or it'll be pointing in a no direction. And do take note of this, because you'll know if it's a yes, then it means that this energy has been completely cleared as you've asked it to. If it ends up in a no sort of direction, it means that there's further work to be done, that it couldn't be cleared because there's some other obstacle or block in the way. So you'd have to go into it further, into more detail. Sometimes you might need to get to the root, or you might need to know more information. It just really depends. And you can kind of spin this around, like faster if you want to speed things up, or you can even do commands to speed things up as well, but I'm just gonna let it do its thing naturally. Which may take some time, and that's okay. So we want to be thorough when clearing the energy. So yeah, there we go. So it's stopped, it's clockwise, and it's pointing towards my yes, the yes direction. So you can also check, has that cleared fully? And we're getting a yes, which is fantastic. So we've successfully cleared that fear of success that has been holding me back from manifesting success in my business. And then once you've cleared the energy, you've created a void. So it's a good thing to replace that energy by doing a clockwise spin and asking to replace the energy with certain energy that you want. So for this, we're just going to replace it with success, or you can put in love, kind of whatever comes to mind. So I want to replace the energy that I've cleared with success and love now, please. Amen. And then you just let the pendulum do its thing again. So this is a clockwise spin. Use a clockwise spin whenever you want to program in commands. If you're programming in energy like I am now, if you're programming in a new belief, whatever it is that you're programming in, it's usually done in a clockwise spin. Trying to get my hand in there as well, so you can see. And again, if you want to tune into yourself just to see what you can sense and feel with your psychic senses as this spins in, because again, I can just feel that energy going into my throat and solar plexus and sacral, just to fill up that energetic void that I've created since I cleared that old energy, the fear. And I love the pendulum because it's really empowering, that you can do it yourself. You don't have to go to anyone else. And you get to decide what you want to reprogram yourself, what you want to replace the old energy with. And as you can see there, it's finished its clockwise spin and it's stopped in the yes direction, which means that it has been successfully replaced. And you can also just check to see, has that energy been replaced with love and success, which is yes. And then we're just gonna do one final check and see, are there any other energy blocks in relation to this intention of manifesting success in my business? So you're seeing it's a no. So which means that we don't have any, or I don't have any energetic blocks left in relation to manifesting success in my business. That we've done all the work we need to do. If there's any other questions that you want to ask, you can also do yes or no. It's also nice to get like a percentage chart. You can also check like how in alignment or what percentage you're at towards manifesting success in your business or whatever your intention is. There's loads of really nice things that you can do with the pendulum. This is just an example. So say if a trapped emotion came up, you could look at clearing emotions. You can get kind of like an emotional wheel. It's what therapists use in sessions with clients, and you can douse what the emotion is and clear it from your energy field using this exact same technique, and also replacing it with more favorable energy, a more favorable emotion. So yeah, similar with limiting beliefs is similar to the fear as what I've gone through. Chords, a little bit different in that you're connected with other people, but you can douse and hone in on what chakras you have the chords in. As well, you can get charts, and just hold the pendulum over the various chakras, and it will tell you if there is a chord there or not, and then you can pull it out by doing this technique anti-clockwise to clear the chords, and clockwise then to seal and heal any areas. And then something you need to let go of could be like a behavioral pattern, or indeed something else. So it's just an example. There are loads of different things that it can be, but as I said, this is just a total crash course in how to go about clearing energetic blocks for healing and for manifesting your intentions. Pretty much the idea came to me because I was clearing blocks for myself last week, and the Pleiadians asked me to do this video for you all. So there is someone out there who can benefit from this information. And I have done a little bit of a pendulum introduction to the pendulum video on my channel as well, which I'll link down in the description box. But this is just building on that introductory video and just giving you an idea of how to go about it if you're unsure. Excuse me. But there are loads of lovely resources and further information on the internet if you're unsure about anything that I've talked about, but I just wanted to give you the basics, the basic technique, because this is such an empowering tool, and I think everybody could benefit from using this energy work technique for a whole multitude of things. So yeah, that is pretty much it, all I wanted to say in this video. I hope you found it helpful. Do let me know what you think in the comments below, and other than that, thank you so much for being here, for tuning in. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.